This is something that has to happen at some point. I need to fix this fucking mouse, and I can't fix this fucking mouse. Come on, dude. Do this thing. I'm talking to the mouse, not you. Jesus Christ, I hate technology.
I couldn't do anything if I wanted to.
I hate technology.
You gotta have a wired backup mouse, man.
I do, but I don't want to fucking use it right now. And unfortunately, actually, yeah, I just don't want to use it right now. I don't want to give in, because that means it's won. It's beaten me. I can't let technology beat me, because then we're living in the fucking Terminator world, and I don't want to live in that world.
Why is it gotta be Terminator world and not Matrix world?
Either one. Terminator, because it's the first one that got to my head.
Which future would you rather live in? Would you rather live in the Matrix future or the fucking Skynet's taking over Earth future?
Well, it depends. When you say the Matrix world, does that mean the Matrix itself, or am I living in?
No, you're living outside of the Matrix.
So I'm living in fucking potato sacks. I'm wearing potato sacks on a daily basis. Yes. Both sound pretty horrible.
Yeah, I mean there is the giant indoor orgies you get to have in Matrix world if you're down with that type of thing.
Right, that's true. That is true. I'm assuming if I was living in a potato sack my entire life, that I'd probably be into that. So, I'll go with the Matrix because they at least they had peace at the end. As far as we know, the Terminator Judgment Day shit's still happening. So
yeah. Until later on this year, we'll find out what the future holds for Terminator world.
Yeah.
With what's it called? Dark Fate.
I was about to call it Dark Phoenix. That's not right.
How dare you insult the Terminator?
Sorry.
It's all right.
Phoenix. I fucking stupid Bluetooth. Turn off! All right, let's see if I can get something remotely related to our topic. Right now, I feel like an orangutan the way I'm like positioning myself. If you could see the way I am, I have like my one arm like up and then my other arm down because my keyboard's down. So, I look
well,
like
in the meantime, good morning, everybody, and welcome to LRMornings. I'm with Kyle and Jammer. I'm Kyle.
I'm Jammer.
And he's fighting with his mouse.
I'm fighting with all of technology. I hate all of technology. No, I'm kidding. I love technology. It's enabled me to do all kinds of crazy shit, but sometimes it could be just a tad frustrating.
Yeah.
Just a tad frustrating.
It happens. So, we got some people seeing Spider-Man today, and I'm pretty angry about that.
Yeah. Nick Dahl's going to be seeing Spider-Man. Yeah. Spider-Man! That's not Rocket Man, but, you know.
I'm stoked about it.
Yeah.
Not him seeing it, about me seeing it.
Next week.
And, some other movie stuff happening, you know. Lion King did some pretty good pre-sales records, you know. Who is it on the website? I think it's Mark has said that he thinks Lion King will actually become the #1 selling movie of all time.
Who said that?
Somebody on Slack. I want to say it was Mark.
Oh,
maybe it was Mike.
He's deadly wrong.
Maybe Mike or Mark. One of those two mentioned that they believe that Lion King will end up being like soaring past or roaring past. Haha, see what I did there?
I see what you did there.
Right? Do you approve?
No. God, no.
Fuck.
No, God, no.
Anyways.
No. Like, we've seen what it takes. We've seen that it takes 2 movies to beat Avatar. There's no possible way it's actually going to happen that way.
Nah, and it didn't beat, the way it looks is it didn't beat Endgame's 24-hour pre-sale record, but it came pretty close. So
no, I mean no one. I think it's going to be.
I think it's going to be a huge movie.
It's going to break $1 billion easy.
I don't know how well it will do overseas though. Like I don't know how well I know Aladdin's made 800 million worldwide.
I'm sure it'll be.
Fucking
I think it'll do good because usually these types of spectacles do pretty well overseas.
Yeah,
and it's a pretty universal tale.
Yeah, and it appears I recently discovered the old anime that Lion King really looks like it takes
Kimba the White Lion.
Yeah, it takes a lot of cues from. I recently discovered that story. I never knew about that.
Yeah, that's from Osamu Tezuka. That's the guy, he's considered the godfather of manga. Yeah. He was one of the huge pioneers out there in the animation industry in Japan who kind of found a way to make it physically possible to actually produce something consistently. That guy produced, God, thousands, hundreds of thousands, I think, of pages of manga in his career. He's done such such series as well, obviously Kimba the White Lion, Swallowing the Earth, Astro Boy. Actually, in our LRM ranks it, I had a series called Pluto. Pluto was based on an arc in Astro Boy. So yeah, this guy, he's done a lot of stuff. Very inspired by Disney. If you look at any of his stuff, you may notice it's very rounded. That's because he really looked up to Walt Disney and the way he had his rounded shit, more rounded style, and he thought it was more appealing. And he's also the one who popularized the big eyes in anime because they're really easy to animate. They're kind of a shorthand for emotion, a way to get it across without having to invest in huge changes and nuance in the face, so it's cheaper to reproduce and easier to get across. So a lot of great things that man has accomplished, and Kim of the White Lion was one of them. I've actually never read it or watched it myself. Did you actually watch it?
No, just the clips that people had on YouTube. It was a rabbit hole moment when somebody was talking about it in regards to this new, upcoming Lion King movie. And I followed a rabbit hole down YouTube and wiki pages and was like, oh, wow, that's really fucking weird. But no, I've not watched any full-length episodes.
So here's the thing about Kimba. I'm not convinced that it is as big of a deal as people say. I haven't seen it myself, but based on everything I've read, it seems like it's a lot different. It's just that people like to look at the parallels and go, Kimba did it first. But I can't say for sure. I haven't seen it myself. But that's just based on things I have seen.
Whatever. Are you gonna go see Lion King?
Hells yeah. I think I was and I mentioned this before where I was very much of the opinion like, why do we get these fucking movies? Why do we see these movies? This is stupid. I don't want to see these movies because I've already seen them before. And then I watched Beauty and the Beast, which I criticized for being exactly like the original. Did the same thing for Aladdin. I loved both of those movies quite a bit. I love that they pretty much followed the original, but that they embellished them. They gave a little bit of extra life to them and made them just that much more involved. And I basically decided, you know what? I need to stop criticizing this shit because I need to go back and I'm going to see them no matter what. And I'm probably going to love them unless they're shitty. So until they're shitty, I'm going to stop complaining.
Well, it is Favreau, so.
Yeah, I like him, but I think about the differences. Like, I like Favreau a lot, but I just don't. It's one of those things where, Jungle Book, I felt like was really different from the other one. Whereas this one, it's like, it's not. It's very clearly not different. Not that I'm complaining.
And even in the advertising, they showed Jungle Book was going to be a little different. They still showed that it's very much Disney's version of the story, but
Disney already had a version of that story.
What's that?
Disney already had a version of that story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this was very clearly, and they also had an older live action remake. But I was just saying that they made sure that this was clearly connected, borrowed from the cartoon, but they also showed that it was, like you said, it's kind of different. While a lot of the other recent live action remakes, except for maybe Dumbo, have leaned heavily into the cartoon stuff. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Like, the first trailer for Lion King, man, that was like, there was some shot-for-shot moments from the original cartoons trailer. And I saw some side-by-side comparisons on YouTube and things like that. This one, they're not, hell, we just did a piece a couple days ago, maybe, that there's going to be one extra song,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, out from Elton John and Tim Rice.
At least one new song from
that seems
from
to be what
Elton John.
They're doing is get like a couple more songs. I know that Beauty and the Beast had a couple of great songs. One of them, oh my god, was fucking amazing. Where the Beast sang after she left, so good. Mm-hmm. And then you had Jasmine's song in Aladdin, which I thought was also great. I'm hoping to get something on the level of that for this one, whatever it is.
I like Elton John.
I like
pretty decent musician.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
the
anyone's...
Jawa in my pocket went off because I forgot to turn down my phone, and that screwed up my speaking abilities.
Oh,
There,
TD!
shut up, Jawas. So my notification sound is a Jawa.
Did it ever bother you that Jawas sound like Ewoks?
No,
Does it now?
no, because Ewoks sound like Jawas because Jawas came first.
Oh, it doesn't matter. My point is, does it ever bother you that they sound the same?
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
Because it's like they're literally just pulling the same sound effects.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's Star Wars, man.
It doesn't matter. It's Star Wars. They're completely different races.
There's only so many ways you could put together vocal cords in the galaxy. Something was bound to repeat.
What? There's only so... Okay. I like the fucking headcanon you're coming up with here. The complete bullshit
Evolution's carbon-based, life forms. There's only so many combinations for genes and DNA and RNA, and something's bound to repeat, man. Something's bound to repeat.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right, that's fair. So here's a question for you.
What's up?
Do you know Noah Hawley?
I know of Noah Hawley.
Do you know of Noah Hawley?
Yes, I do.
Noah
I'm
Hawley...
looking at his name with a picture that I still can't believe Fox fucking entertained that for a moment.
And actually, they may still be entertaining that.
Yeah.
So, those who don't know Noah Hawley, he's the creator of such shows as Fargo and Legion. Pretty great shows, especially Legion. Legion was so weird. If you haven't seen it already, it's like if Stanley Kubrick was given a property, and they just like go nuts, and he went nuts. That's basically what Legion is on FX. Check it out. I can't tell you if you'll enjoy it completely, because if you're into more traditional hero stuff, it's not that. But it's interesting, to say the least. Like, I know when it came out around the same time that The Gifted did, and The Gifted was just so very straightforward and traditional. It's basically what you expected an X-Men TV show to be. Yeah. Whereas Legion was just like, nah, I'm gonna do something fucking weird because I'm me.
That is almost the way you described Legion, and I don't know if you'll like it or not. The way you just did that is the exact same way Brian pitched it to me. He was like, yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if you'll like it. I don't know if you'll hate it. It's different. Yep. I'm not sure if he mentioned Kubrick, but yeah, I mean, definitely. You guys just described it the exact same way. But anyways, continue.
Anyway, so Fox apparently was giving this guy Doctor Doom. He was entertaining a Doctor Doom movie for them. And obviously, since then, things have changed quite a bit. Fox has been absorbed by Disney and, that whole thing. So clearly things are going to change. Clearly we're probably not going to get to see a Doctor Doom movie, except maybe we are. He was speaking with THR, and he was basically talking about the X-Men movies, or just superhero movies in general. And this is a long quote. I quote, "What was interesting to me originally about the X-Men universe is these are movies that started in concentration camp. They are clearly concerned with the true nature of human evil. It's not just some cosmic force bringing about the end of the world. That's what was always interesting to me here. Let's explore through this genre the everyday evils we do to each other, the ways we hurt each other and take each other for granted. They are different stories and characters who will bring about other themes. I wrote a script about Doctor Doom, an anti-hero story I really like, and we're still talking about making it. I'm trying to get out from under this movie I made, and this last season of Legion and Fargo is coming back up. But for better or worse, these are the stories we want to hear right now. I think you can bury your head in the sand and say, that's unfortunate for our culture because they're simplistic. Some people say that. I don't look at it that way. I think they are morality tales on a larger scale, and it's better to be part of a conversation than pretend the conversation isn't happening." I want to read the whole quote because it just shows me how wonderfully unpretentious this guy is and how much he sees the potential for story, even if it's something that some people, some dicks, might think are simplistic, which I think is great. Also, he's thinking Doctor Doom might still happen in spite of the fact that Doctor Doom has been absorbed by Marvel Studios at this point and could be utilized. So I asked the question I ask a question that I already know the answer to from you. How do you feel about a Doctor Doom movie?
Stupid. Look, I like his idea because there is a story where Doom can be the anti-hero, but it's very, very secluded to his home country, and it has everything to do with him. But I don't want to see a Doctor Doom Origins film all on its own. Him taking over Latveria, all that. Yeah, there's a way to do it. I'm not gonna lie. There is an interesting way to tell his story, which could take up a lot of time. However, I
Calm down. We're all friends here.
yeah, fuck you, you motherfucker! I swear to God, I'll kick the. No, I'm joking. I don't see how. I don't see how you can really, while there is the potential for a decent story, I don't see how you make most people that know, most casual Fantastic Four or casual Marvel fans, I don't see how you sell them on Doom by himself. And I'm not sure that you can fill up 2 hours with this story and make it really good. Could it be a big part of a Fantastic Four trilogy of movies where you see some of this action, his origins through the first movie, his powering up through the second movie, and his taking over of shit in the third movie? Yeah, maybe you could take his movie script and split it over 3 movies, something like that. I don't know. I'm not real big fan on these villain solo films. I'm just not.
Have we had very many? We haven't had any of them, really.
No, but the ideas of them, because you got Morbius coming out, you've got Craven supposedly in the works, you had Venom, you got this guy that wants to do a Doom movie. Like, I'm not a fan of the ideas.
Right. I think I'm interested. I kind of want to see it. And I know this is kind of like, oh, we can't have that and then also have Doctor Doom in the Fantastic Four movie, but I feel like whatever this is would be a one-off movie. It would be a one-off type thing. I'm actually kind of down. Yeah, kind of like Joker, like where you can... Let's see, if you were to get started soon, what year is it? It's 2019. It can get out there by 2021. We're probably not going to see the Fantastic Four in the MCU until at least 2022 or 2023. I think audiences can be forgiving enough to say, like, hey, there's a standalone Doctor Doom movie from Fox, not from Marvel Studios, from Fox. Keep that branding out there. And it can allow them, I think Fox can allow them to basically kind of do what DC is doing with their DC Black or DC Dark brand, in which they have yet to name, the one that Joker is going to be released under.
Yeah.
Where it's those types of stories that you have these filmmakers who they want to tell a very specific and interesting story that doesn't need to be reliant on everything that came before it. I think it allows them the opportunity to do that. Do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea?
I think most fans would be able to say, okay, this is separated. But again, the casual fans, especially if you then have a Fantastic Four movie come out, let's say you could fast track Doom to hit in 2021, and then 2023 Fantastic Four comes out. I can see where there might be some confusion, but I mean, I don't know. I just, like I said, I don't think you can make Doom work alone by himself for me for 2 hours. Maybe you could. Maybe it's worth a shot. I would be interested at seeing his script and seeing if my ideas, if I was like gun to my head, write a Doctor Doom movie, how I'm doing it. I'm showing his mother's fall to dark side of magic and shit like that, and souls being taken and deaths. I'm showing Latveria going through hell. I'm showing him going to America and getting educated, and I'm showing him figuring out technology and you know what I'm saying? These are the things I'm doing. I'd be interested to see what he's doing, what his idea is, his specific ideas.
Yeah, I'm interested as well. I want to see this happen. I want to see it happen. I'm just interested to see.
I just want to
what this script. And not only that, I just want to see Disney being open to more creative stuff, kind of like what we're seeing with the Joker movie. Once again, just being open to potentially thinking outside of their MCU. Not that I don't love the MCU. I obviously do. I fucking love it. They're fantastic movies. But it opens the door for different types of stories, and I just think there's a lot of opportunity there.
Well, Marvel's always had its what if comic books.
Yeah. Exactly. What if
one
stories.
shots and stuff like that.
those could be great to adapt in some way. I know they're having also a what if animated series on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of good stuff out there. I'm surprised these conversations are still having, or maybe Noah Hawley has been so involved in all the stuff that he's doing, he he doesn't realize what's happened over at Disney. But I doubt that's the case. I'm pretty sure he
What?
knows.
Comes into the office. Why are there all these Mickey Mouse ears over here?
Yeah, what's going on here? Yeah, that would be funny. Because I do wonder, like, because his shows and stuff are really interesting. I'm like, how weird is this guy? Like, I don't know. How weird is he? Is he normal?
Yeah.
Is he weird? I don't know.
When it comes, because I think it's almost safe to assume Doom and the Fantastic Four will make their way to the MCU. I'm wondering how much magic they're gonna let Doom have, because that's always been a big thing about the comics. Is he's not just a smart guy; he's also a sorcerer. I mean, hell, Doom was Sorcerer Supreme for a minute. And he's always had a it's always been great to watch him interact with Tony and Strange, as well as Reed, I guess. He's a much better Iron Man villain than he ever was a fucking Fantastic Four villain. But I really, really hope to see him blending magic and technology together like he does in the comics, because that'll propose an extra challenge to Reed and the Fantastic Four, because so far...
That's if they're in the movie at all.
Well, I'm saying, like, when we get to a Fantastic Four movie with Doom. I'm saying I believe it's safe to assume that happens.
Okay.
It's separate from this solo Doom film. I'm just wondering, because we've not seen that in the movies. You know, you've had 3 movies, all 3 of them deal with technology and superpowers, but no magic, no sorcery, no spell casting.
Sorcery.
No Latveria, you know, like none of that shit. So,
but in the MCU, we do have the magic stuff, so I'm sure they can incorporate it into it. Yeah.
So that's what I'm really hoping for, because it'll add, if and when we do get to Doom fighting the Fantastic Four, it'll add an interesting aspect to see them trying to compensate for a whole shit. He's not just shooting laser beams at us; fuckers casting spells.
Just changing the subject, hardcore. Your I don't know, bring up Doctor Strange just triggered a memory of a dream that I had last night of a Baron Mordo movie, or at least I think it was a Doctor Strange sequel, and it was like a Baron Mordo scene that I was seeing. I don't know, you know the feeling you get sometimes where something triggers it, and it's kind of like a feeling more than anything, but you kind of slightly remember some fine details about it, but you remember more the feeling of it.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember vaguely a Baron Mordo-centric Doctor Strange movie last night, so that doesn't mean anything.
I hope to see that. I really do.
Yeah,
I like this, cool. Too many sorcerers line at the end of the end credit scene, or the mid credit scene, or whatever credit scene on Doctor Strange 1. I think a lot of people are looking forward to him, but I also think we're going to get some Dormammu, because the Time Stone doesn't exist anymore. None of the stones exist anymore, as far as we know. And yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm fucking stoked for Doctor Strange. I think Doctor Strange, and I'm trying to remember, my LRM ranks it for origin films. Strange was really, really high on there, because I think he does have one of the best origin films out there. What do you think?
I think so. I'm trying to think here. I'm not a huge fan of the origin movies anymore, just because we've seen so many of them.
Yeah,
I was thinking I like Thor a lot.
Thor was great. Michael Straczynski on that. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of his.
Did not like Captain America. Loved Iron Man. So there's Iron Man, there's Thor. What else is there? There's Ant-Man.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. It's definitely not that one.
We sort of counted Black Panther, but it's barely an origin story.
I mean, if we're considering that an origin story, I think Black Panther is better, personally. I think it has a better villain.
Yeah, definitely.
And a more sort of morally gray subtext. So I think it's more interesting.
I had that on my list as well. I think we both.
So yeah, I think Doctor Strange is up there, like probably in the top 2 to 3 origin movies.
Yeah, it was good, and I tell you what, I always thought, me and you've had this conversation before, back when they were first talking about doing a Strange movie. I said my pick was Ewan McGregor, and I still stand by that. Ewan McGregor would have made a great Doctor Strange, but Benedict Cumberbatch knocks it out of the park, and I think he's just as good at being Strange as Robert Downey Jr. is as being Stark, and Evans is at being Captain America. I mean, those three have nailed their characters in ways I never thought imagined.
Yeah, I liked him a lot in Doctor Strange, but it really kind of came through in his Avengers Infinity War performance. Like, he was one of my favorite characters in that movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish there was a behind the scenes clip, and they were talking. It was while they were filming the scene where Tony flies down. Everybody's come back from the snap through the portals, and Tony lands next to Strange, and he asks him, out of the 14 billion or whatever, is this the one? And they were talking about how they should, word that scene. Should they change some things? And so there's Strange and Tony have a quick back and forth, and then Tony goes, "Welcome back, asshole," and then he flies off. And I wish they had left that in. That would have been a fucking great way to have. What do you think about that? Like, if he had said, "Welcome back, asshole," and
I think people would have complained about that. Because people already complain about Marvel undercutting serious moments. I think in them going to "Welcome back, asshole" would have had people going like, "Oh, we can't even have any seriousness in this fucking thing."
How would you have liked it though?
It probably would have been a funny throwaway thing. I don't know if I don't think I care either way, to be honest.
No. I would have loved it because it harkens back to their initial meeting with the cauldron of the cosmos and protecting your reality, douchebag, and all that. I would have enjoyed it. So, oh well, whatever.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I could back you up on this, but yeah, I just have no strong feelings about it one way or another. I can understand why you want it, but I could also understand why people wouldn't. So.
The only time you get strong feelings is sad stuff on a movie screen.
That's so true. Fucking Toy Story 4. See that shit. Oh my god. It will change your life.
Are you gonna cry when Simba's dad dies in Lion King?
I don't think so. I don't think so. No. I don't think I will. That never really came across. Like, it was sad when I was a kid, but it doesn't have the emotional weight that that any of the Toy Story movies have, which is ironic because Toy Story movies don't really have death, but
Interesting. Well, that's going to about do it for us today, ladies and gentlemen, everybody listening out there. We appreciate it so much. Make sure you guys are heading over to LRMonline.com every single day to get all your entertainment news. Jammers out there writing up a storm along with guys like Seth and Cam. I mean, we got a lot of really great writers. There's a lot of unique voices on the website, so go check it out. Leave some comments below. Tell us what you think about today's topics, Tell us what you think about the show in general. Make sure you guys are liking, sharing, and subscribing wherever you get podcasts to the LRM Online Network. All sorts of podcasts, Breaking Geek Radio, the podcast, LRM Ranks It, LRMornings, Los Fanboys. Lots of really great stuff coming.
We're on Spotify and Stitcher as well.
We're on Spotify, and we got Stitcher too. So we're on everything, guys. We're on everything now. So no excuses. None. Yeah. You can even find this show on YouTube if for some reason you can't do the podcast thing, but you can have a YouTube window open. You can find this on YouTube. Our YouTube channel's also got a lot of great celebrity interviews. More stuff coming to it all the time. Jammer, where can people find you at online?
You could find me on Twitter at JamTheWriter and all my written stuff at LRMonline.com. And you can find me banging my mouse against the wall until this fucking thing actually works.
You guys can find me at that Kyle Malone on Twitter, as well as doing a whole bunch of stuff for the website. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.